So again, I'm coming here to talk about why I hate niggas. And I want to start by saying I don't hate niggas. I don't hate men. I say I hate niggas as more like a joke. I'm a silly woman. I am super silly. I love humor. And if any of you see me on my statuses, like my cousin who is a problematic ass nigga who I love deeply, him and I joke all the time. Sometimes he gets out of control and I gotta check that ass and be like, step off. Like either you show respect or you step off, because this is not a space that we're going to disrespect each other, right? Woman or man, right? Some people need to hear that in love, but hear that nonetheless. So long and short, again, I don't hate niggas. I do hate how niggas value women sexually and how this translates into our social interactions with each other, right? So it's like women become valuable in this space of pussy. So again, so much of the psychology of this is what's driving my decision making, right? And also I want y'all to be mindful that I'm a graduate student. I'm not saying it on some bougie shit. I'm saying it on some shit of like, I spend most of my day reading. You know what I mean? Like I spend most of my day thinking. Nigga, I get paid to think. That is a privilege, a high privilege. I don't take that shit for granted. I recognize that like a lot of my friends and family can't just be like, oh, I'm just gonna read Marx today. And Marx it's not like, oh, because yes, if you read Marx, you're privileged. But it is a privilege to be able to sit around and think for goddamn hours on end. That's what I do. I get paid to think. You feel me? So like, I understand that is a certain space that not everybody occupies. With that being met, move so we can see it. Listen, we are here for the, okay. All right. Oh, you here for the couch? Thanks, boo. So long and short, so here's the story, right? So again, I don't hate niggas. I hate how niggas translate their sexual value of women into all social interaction. So it's like, if I'm not fucking you, fuck you. It's like, damn, nigga, like I didn't know it was like that, but it feels like that. And I always focus on feeling because like feelings are important. And so here's the story. Here's what led to me doing this like I hate nigga shit. So I was abstinent for 23 years of my life. I was born Catholic, and my mom really pressed for me that I should wait till marriage, that sex is very sacred. I still believe deeply that sex is very, very sacred. Every time I have sex, I thank God, actually, because I feel that this is a sacred act, right? All that to say, when, again, I spent 23 years of my life not having sex, particularly because, again, I genuinely believe in this kind of Catholic doctrine around sex is sacred and it being honored from, or waiting till marriage. I believe that for 23 years. And so like around age 24, or was it 20, still 23, long and short, again, all the men that I talk about tonight, I want to make sure I honor them and honor their lives and their stories by not putting them on blast, because I wouldn't want someone to do that to me, right? So I still value Christian principles like that whole do unto you, or do unto others as you would want done unto you. I genuinely believe that in my heart of hearts. So with that being said, I was talking to this man who is a wonderful man, who's still a great friend for me. And I'm trying not to use any descriptors. And again, please don't like, I don't want anybody to be treated unfairly. And so long and short, I was with him, and to be real, I did not necessarily feel that sexually fulfilled in the relationship. And so that's that. And he is a wonderful guy. And I'm not saying this to go on him. And I hope if he's watching this or if he hears this, like, I pray that, you know, this doesn't make you feel any kind of way. Him and I have had these conversations, and I'm saying it not to be like, oh, this nigga wasn't, but to say this because I know that there are other women that I've had conversations with that are in sexually unfulfilling relationships, but because they feel like this is safe. So I felt like I was with this guy because I felt safe. Most of my life, I have not felt safe around men. That's some real shit. I really felt like since I was like 11, when I got my period, that most men were trying to low-key rape me. Like, dead ass, I would walk home from school, walk past niggas who know me know I went to Guilford Elementary Middle School. I would walk home with my best friend's grandfather, and literally all the time, we're 10 years old, and grown ass men like that look like they could be our grandfather would be like, oh, you look good, like you trying to, and I'm like, nigga, I'm 11, nigga, like, do you not see the goddamn Barbie book bag and shit, nigga, like, what are you doing? And so ever since I was a little girl, I recognized that like there was no boundaries to what men would want to do with me sexually because of my age or because of my innocence. And that scared me. Like, that really put me on kind of like edge a little bit. And so I was always very cognizant to be like, well, if you're a respectable girl, if you're a good Catholic girl, then things don't happen to good Catholic girls, because good Catholic girls have principles, and good Catholic girls don't, you know, sleep with guys, and good Catholic girls don't do A, B, and C. Now, mind you, like, I still got emotions. I still got feelings. I'm still horny. Like, bitch is still masturbating. You feel me? All that to say, like, I recognize that the way in which I was policing my sexuality was a direct response to me being very, very uncomfortable with, like, how I felt black men. And I'm saying black men because I grew up in Baltimore. People who know me know I grew up in East Baltimore. Like, you probably saw me sitting on my porch with a book or being a nerd. I've been a nerd my whole life. Ask anybody on Richwood, they will tell you Tuesday would literally be in the house all the time or sitting on her porch. Like, I did not fuck with niggas. Like, I really didn't. I really did not. And a lot of that had to do with me being like, yo, like, I have to be a good girl. Like, I have to not talk to these dudes. I have to make sure that, like, I'm not sexually assaulted, which is some crazy shit to think about at 11 years old. Like, at 11 years old, I was aware that, like, if I said the wrong thing, I could really be scooped up and some shit could happen to me. And I know I'm not the only black woman who feels that way. I talk to my homegirls all the time about being like, oh my gosh, like, you know, when I was 10, my uncles would say little slick shit to me, and or my uncles violated me, or my cousins or brothers or whatever did some shit to me that just wasn't okay, you know. I thank God that didn't necessarily happen to me in terms of like being sexually violated. But I'm saying all that to say I have very early roots with my discomfort with black men. And I've been in conversation with other black women about healing that. I don't think it's okay to walk around like, well, you know, I'm just going to be scared of these niggas because that's what it is. It's like, no, do that work. I am doing the work. And again, when I also find humor as a tool for liberation. So I laugh about it. Like, I talk about it. I dialogue about it. I think it's important to do that work, to be able to release in more ways and just like, how can I intellectualize this and say all the right language? No, bitch, sometimes I don't want to sit. Sometimes I want to laugh. Like, sometimes this shit is hilarious how niggas is just a goddamn mess. And so all that to say, again, I'm abstinent for 23 years, which was really my direct response to, again, feeling like I would be sexually violated, and also my solidarity with my religion. And so, again, I had sex with dude when I was 23, 24, I want to say, and it wasn't fulfilling. Love you dearly, love him. He was such a good man, still a great man. And I feel so thankful that we were both virgins and we had that experience together. And I think both of us were trying to learn, like, what is sexuality? What does it mean to like something? What do you like? What do you don't like? What do you not like? He had a lot of emotional baggage. I feel like I'm a healer. And so when I see trauma, I immediately go toward it. I immediately want to, you know, wipe someone's tears and be like, you're okay, you're good. Like, let me help you put you back together. Where did that come from? Everything has a root. My brother was murdered when I was 10 years old. And I'm saying this not on some sympathy shit, but on some, again, here are my roots. Here is what's grounding me. So when my brother was murdered, my mother had a really hard time with it. And again, I don't want to say anything about my mother because I respect her and I respect her story. And I think that if someone doesn't give you permission to give their story, it's not yours to give. So, but again, this is my story, so I want to just share on my end. So long and short, I felt like I had to, in my poem, I said, mothering my mother. And I really felt that way. I felt like my mom, you know, it's a lot to lose a son, and not just to lose him, but for your son to be murdered in a drive-by, like, that's some traumatic ass shit. And so I felt like my mother needed someone to be there for her. And I was the one in the house with her every day, right? She has sisters, she has a brother, she had a mother. you know, she had support systems, but it's different when you're physically in a house with someone and you see them, you know. And again, this is not, I love my mother. Anybody who knows me knows I love my mother. So this is said in love, but like when you see somebody not eating, not sleeping, not washing themselves, like, the shit starts to really hit you like, whoa, like this person's going through. And for me at 10 years old, I was like, yo, like, what does this mean? So long and short, I felt like from a very young age, I learned how to be a nurturer. I also had some women in my life, both in my family and not in my family, who had been physically battered by their partners. And so I learned really young that like men can be very violent, not just verbally violent, but physically violent. And so I'm seeing like women, again, that I love very deeply, have like women white as Miley Cyrus, like have purple fucking indentations on them, looking like they were like with fucking magic markers on their bodies because they got their ass beat. And I'm sorry, that was really insensitive, but like they were being victim. And again, I'm not trying to be like policing my language. I want to be sensitive to those women's stories because they trusted me enough to, you know, to talk to me. But it's like, it's hard when you're, again, 10, 11, 12, and you're seeing like women go through this. You're like, damn, like, is this just the regular? And so all that to say, I was trained very young to be a healer, to hear people, to be present for them, to make space. And I didn't know I was doing it. I just thought I was being a good person. But I realized that translated into my love language. That translated into me really going towards trauma because that's what I was used to. One of my aunts, who I love dearly, she said, "You will only accept the pain you have experienced." I was like, damn. And I realized that so much of the trauma I had been going through in relationships was really just shit I had experienced with like women in my life early in my life. So all this shit with niggas was not nothing new. This was shit I saw my uncles. Oh, this was shit I saw men, not just uncles or no shit like that. But like this was shit I saw people do, like men in my community, within family, outside of family, right? So all that to say, I'm in relationship with dude, and this was like a minute we was in relationship. And like, to be honest, I wasn't always a good person. Like sometimes I'd be like, nigga, like chill with that shit. Like it was just some shit that happened that, again, is not my story to tell, because I want to honor him. I want to honor our dynamic, and I want to honor the love that was there. But long and short, I felt like I was given a lot emotionally, and that wasn't being reciprocated in the ways that I needed. And so I felt like I was very vocal. I'm a very direct woman. Y'all read my shit. I'm very direct in relationships. I tell niggas what I want, how I want it. Like, I don't, oh, could you please? No, that's not me. Like, nigga, I want some head right now. No, you too hard on my clit. Like, no, go down, over, you biting. Like, I'm very vocal because I've played that whole like, oh yeah, no, that shit don't work for me, nigga. Like, I know what I like. I'm asking you what I like, and let's keep it moving. So all that to say, I go through this with dude, and I'm just like, yo, like, I've went through damn near 2-3 years of being with a dude, and I've never come with him. Like, this is weird, son. Like, I need to figure me out. Like, I need to figure out what I like sexually. So I literally went on some wild shit, dead ass. I was like, yo, I'm gonna be out here just fucking niggas till I figure out what I like. So I did that. Literally went on Tinder or a couple other apps, and I was like, yo, I just want to see what I like. I just want to literally have sex to figure out what I like. And so I did that. I like literally had sex with her. And this is not on some bragging shit. This is on some like transparency so that other people know, like B, you not alone. Like we out here trying to figure out life on beyond some theoretical academic shit, beyond some like, yeah, girl, get your life shit. No, it's like for real, sis. Like, we doing this in real time. Like, this is what living life looks like. It looks like trying and failing and fucking up and hurting people and being hurt. Like, I'm just trying to be real, you know? And so long and short, I literally, like, I have sex with, I don't even know, like, I don't know, I do know the number, but all that, I don't even know if that's important. All that to say, I have sex with an array of dudes. I literally was like, maybe it's some black shit. Like, maybe just how I feel about black men is blocking me from like really enjoying sex. Like, I was trying to explore our options with the previous dude who was black. He was my first, he was black. We read books, we went to workshops, we talked. he had an app on his phone. Like, we were doing what I thought was everything to figure out why we weren't having sexual chemistry, because I loved him on an intellectual level. So I was like, yo, if I love you so deeply in my mind, why can't my body agree with that? And I was really hurt because I really love dude. Still got so much love for dude. Anyway, so I was like, yo, it wasn't working with you. Let me figure out some other shit. So I literally, again, had sex with an Asian dude. He was Korean. Had sex with a Korean dude. Had sex with a Latino dude. Had sex with another black dude whose shit was really whack, sis. Like, woo, that shit was whack. He was talking a lot of shit. I'm just saying that because, like, niggas be like, oh no, you ain't never really had my dick. Nigga, really, nigga? And I'm just like, that's why I don't be want to hear that my stroke game better than anything you ever had before. Like, it's probably not. All that to say, so white guy, like, whatever. I'm just out here being like, yo, like, I'm trying to test the water, see what your girl likes, see what your girl feeling. And Korean dude, to be honest, he talks so much shit. Like, I love me a arrogant nigga. Like, I love me a dude who just know he a boss. Like, boss shit is just a thing for me. I'm like, ooh, you a boss. I like the way you talk. You talking like you about some shit. This nigga was whack. When I tell you, this is not because he's Korean. I don't believe that. I don't believe that Asian men are low. No, fuck that shit. I'm not even gonna go there, but I'm just saying, I've been with black dudes that were like barely hitting like my thumb was bigger than that dick. Dead ass. All that to say, I'm with this Asian dude who, to me, stroke game, rhythm is just not hitting it for me. So I was like, look, we need to stop. I'm just honest. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I don't do that shit. I'm a real ass bitch. Like, no, thank you. Like, your shit not working for me. Yo, people keep coming and asking about a couch. My nigga, I'm not selling a couch. Like, this is weird. Like, 5 people that asked about this couch. Like, yo, the couch is not for sale. I don't know why you think that. All that to say, so I'm literally like, I had sex with a Korean dude. I don't think it's bad because he was Korean. I think it's bad because he's bad at sex. Like, I've had sex with a lot of people, and I'm just like, yo, you're just not good at sex. Like, you need to work on that. Like, do yourself a service. His stroke game was just not good. He was very selfish. I'm a very giving person when I have sex. I feel like sex is so much about listening. You don't have to talk to listen. Like, literally, your body can listen. And so, long and short, I listen to people's body. I really feel like I'm a body connoisseur on some real shit, not bragging, just keeping it real. Like, I listen. I want to see how you react. I want to see, like, where does this thing fall on your body? Like, where does this touch fall on your body? Like, does my thumb do something? If it's all that to say, not to get into it, all I'm saying is, I think it's really important to listen to people's bodies because people's bodies speak way more than they do. All that to say, had sex with Korean dude, it was trash. Had sex with Latino dude, hear this, sis. To all my sisters out there, hear this shit. Long and short, I met this dude at a party. He was looking okay. He was the best looking dude there, but he was okay at best. I was horny. When I'm horny, I like to fuck. Let's just keep it 100. So I'm horny. I'm looking at dude. I'm like, he looking good. Hit him up like, hey, what you trying to do? He was like, all right, I'll meet you downstairs. We go downstairs. We go to a hotel. He pays for it. Why? Because the fuck? Why am I, like, that's what you're supposed to do. Like, the fuck? So he pays for the hotel. We have sex in a hotel. It was cool. It was actually, like, quite intimate, and, like, it was the better of the sex I had during this time when I was just kind of out here. And so, long and short, I'm like we talking his favorite movie and shit, just like on some real like smooth shit. Like, yo, I'm not trying to be your girl. Like, I ain't trying, look, relationship, I just got out some shit. I'm really just trying to fuck and possibly be friends. And we ain't even got to do that. Like, we can just be fucking. Cause like, hey, I got papers to write. I'm trying to go to conferences. I'm trying to be a boss bitch. Sometimes you ain't got time to hear this nigga whining about his day. Like, that's for your main chick. Like, and I'm not trying to be a side chick. I'm just saying, long and short, I was just not trying to be with no niggas. I was like, yo, I'm trying to fuck. I like some dick. That's really it. And so dude then goes back and tells his homies that he split the bill with me on the hotel. And on top of that, he was like, oh yeah, and she real crazy. Like, yeah, she was doing all this and she a freak. First of all, nigga, you never had this pussy. This some international shit. So you probably just surprised about the tricks a bitch got up her sleeve. Again, my shit is tight. I'm just saying, this is not me bragging. This is me keeping it real. I feel like one of the things I particularly hate about men when it comes to sex is it's not a thing of keep your mouth closed. It's a thing of watch what comes out your mouth. Like, you literally up here having sex with women and then going back and telling your homeboy straight ass lies because you're insecure about some shit that you did with a woman you wanted to have sex with. What kind of shit is that, my nigga? Like, you literally, I'm dead ass right now. Nigga told me he loved me in sex. First time having sex with me. This is not a game. These are facts. Straight facts. You're moaning my name, nigga. You telling me you love me. Dead ass. Then we're leaving out, right? This nigga says, hear this, sis. Hear this. He says, I really don't know if I fucked you or you fucked me. I looked him dead in the eye and I said, nigga, you know I fucked you. Cause I'm a tight ass bitch. That's all I'm saying. All that to say, this nigga up here, like, my energy, I don't even like to drink, because when I drink, I get sleepy. This is my energy all the time. All the time. I'm on 10. I love life. I drink water. Occasionally an apple juice. I like apple juice. I like cranberry juice. But I'm saying, I don't drink. I can't even smoke. I used to talk to a girl who smoked. She tried to get me to smoke. And I was like, yo, for real, I used to have chronic bronchitis. Anybody who went to school with me at Guilford, no, I used to be like, nigga, my mama used to smoke. I don't like smoke. I try to stay away from it. Like, I really don't like to, like, smoking is not my thing. Again, people who smoke, I'm here for y'all. I love y'all. That's not me. You feel me? Long and short, I'm like, look, I'm sober. I'm just a bad bitch. Like, my shit is just that incredible. I'm not trying to go on myself. I'm just trying to keep it 100. So mind you, after this nigga said he loved me, moaned my name, I fucked his shit up. This nigga passed out like 2 times. My nigga, like, we was on round 3. The nigga was already tired. I'm like, nigga, this round 3. Like, your ass already KO'd. I'm sitting here like, can we get room service out this bitch? Like, I'm hungry. I ain't even done shit. I'm looking at you like, what you finna do, nigga? Like, you eat the box, it's aight. Again, not trying to go on him, but y'all know what it is. So mind you, crusty nigga goes back, talks shit about me. I'm like, okay. So then we move forward. So then I'm like, okay, Twos, you've been dealing with some fuck niggas, but you really just trying to fuck. So low-key, maybe you a fuck ass bitch. That's possible. So oh my God, y'all about to hear this shit. This shit is the wild shit, my nigga. Like, this shit really got me going off. I meets this dude in my apartment. Meets him in the elevator. And I was like, hey, how you doing? Anybody who know me, since I was a freshman in college, I talk to people in the elevator. Because I think, why the fuck we in the elevator being silent? That shit's weird. It's hella close. Dude gets off of my floor. I'm like, oh, I've never seen you before. He was like, I've never seen you. I was like, yeah, I've lived here for like 1.5 years. I've never seen you on this floor. He was like, well, you know, I go to school and da-da-da. And I was like, oh, yo, like, I go to Maryland. He was like, oh, like, what program you? And I was like, oh, I'm a PhD candidate in sociology. He was like, oh, wow, I'm getting my master's in microbiology from Georgetown. I was like, yo, that's cool. Again, I'm not a bitch that's fazed by degrees. Like, I know niggas that never graduated from high school. I still fuck with them like they motherfucking Martin Luther King. Like, a degree don't faze a bitch like me. Like, I'm not fazed by your degrees, niggas. Anyway, so this nigga, like, okay, I go to Georgetown. I'm like, okay, cool, like, good shit. Like, I'm proud of you. Georgetown is a very competitive school to get into. I think it's amazing when any of us choose to compete in those realms. It's a choice to compete in those realms, and it's a very difficult task. Long and short, this nigga is wild. So again, I'm being a fuck ass bitch. Let me fully acknowledge that. So dude is like, oh, what you doing tonight? I was like, yo, I got some work to do. He was like, all right, well, let's meet in study lounge. We go in the study lounge. I'm talking to him. I'm like, well, blah, 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 blah. He told me about his girl. And I'm like, or he told me about like his ex-girlfriend, some shit. And then I was like, well, I'm bisexual, so I understand what you mean. Like, I've also talked to women that, you know, sometimes aren't necessarily grounded in terms of like, you know, them knowing exactly what they're looking for. And I've also been guilty of that. Like, I'm not exempt from this shit. And so I'm talking to him about this woman I'm talking to who I really cared for at the time. Long and short, I end up fucking this nigga because that's what I wanted to do. And I'm a grown ass woman and I'm just keeping it 100 with y'all. Like, why I got the lie? Long and short, this is the first time I fucked this nigga. This nigga tells me he loves me. You know why? Because my shit is amazing. Not my pussy, right? Niggas like, oh, you got pussy game. No, nigga. Let me give you a key, a major key alert. Intimacy is better than any penetration you will ever give a bitch. Your dick has nothing on intimacy. Intimacy is not a dick in a vagina. Major key alert. I'm just saying, when I have sex, men or women, I focus on them. I give them attention. I look in their eyes. Not all the time. That shit can be a little creepy if the people just looking at you all the goddamn time. But it's like, I focus. I give people my full attention. I really respond to like, what does your body want? Nigga, my vagina game on point, Perry. Anyway, all that to say, this nigga be wild. I love him so much. He wild as shit. All that to say, like, I just feel like intimacy is way more important than penetration. Long and short, this nigga, let me tell y'all, this nigga has so many lies. This nigga lied from here to motherfucking Afghanistan, my niggas. This nigga told me, first of all, he don't go to Georgetown. Y'all probably already guessed that shit. Nigga don't go to Georgetown. I literally looked this shit up. That program, he not in it. Called the school. A bitch is a researcher for a living, my nigga. You not finna tell me something, I'm not gonna research it. Okay. On top of that, so then I'm like, okay, he lied about that. Nigga told me he has a daughter. This is when it gets very scary and dangerous. So this nigga tells me he has a daughter. He shows me pictures of him Skyping a little girl. We talk about this little girl together. He talks about how he's trying to get her into a school. He says that his ex-girlfriend literally is in California, and she like, after she gave birth, she like went to California because she wanted to be a dancer. And I'm thinking, all the women I know after labor are trying to sit the fuck down. Ain't nobody trying to walk, talk, do shit, let alone get on a plane. But I'm like, every woman's different, you know, trying to give men benefit of the doubt, which again, women, stop doing that shit. That shit is for the birds. If you feel like something is wrong, it's wrong. Our intuition, one of my homegirls said something so profound. And I don't know if she want me to say her name here, so I want to respect her identity. But she told me some real shit, and I want to give this major key here. She said, Tuesday, listen to your gut. It's where your ancestors are. Come on. Come on. I'm just saying. So when you get a feeling about a nigga or a bitch or whomever in your life, listen, it's your ancestors saying, this ain't right. Anyway, all that to say, dude, y'all not even going. I find out that not only is the little girl that this dude has been telling me is his daughter, that he been showing me Skype pictures of, he's like, oh, I'm been a Skype daddy. Not only is that not his daughter, not only had he been lying to me, for like weeks about this little girl. The little girl is dead. She had been dead for a year. I went on his Instagram, was looking, scrolling down, kept seeing this really pretty girl, and I was like, oh, maybe that's his ex. Like, and mind you, I don't do Instagram stalking because I was like, yo, like that's not my shit. Like, nigga, if I fuck with you, I fuck with you. Like, again, you can fuck as many bitches as you want. I'm literally out here fucking hella niggas because a bitch trying to figure out what she want. Bruh, the shit gets creepier, right? So, right, you think it's creepy? Sis, just wait till you hear this part. So, I clicked the girl's Instagram page. I scrolled down. I don't even know how to use this shit. If I could flip it to show you. No, because I don't want to put them out there, right? Like, again, I'm trying to get people identities fucked up. So, literally, I click the girl page. I'm scrolling down. I see a little girl that he's been showing me like pictures of all the time, talking about, I'm gonna get her enrolled in school here, all this shit. There's 4 pictures of this little girl. And it says, rest in heaven. We will always love you. And it was marked for November 2016. I was scared as shit. I've talked to this nigga on numerous occasions. He's shown me pictures of this little girl almost every single time him and I would be around each other. He was like, oh, my daughter this, my daughter that. I'm terrified at this point. I'm like, yo, twos, this nigga, like, so mind you, I do consulting work. Sometimes I work with private schools. And so I know a lot about the private school, like, space in general. So I'm sitting here, like, genuinely trying to help this nigga out. Because originally I was just fucking him. I was like, yo, I'm just trying to get some consistent dick. Like you live in my building. I can hit you up. Like, yo, let's come through. He can come through and then leave. On some real shit. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. I'm not being perfect. I'm being honest. So I'm scared as shit right now. I'm like, how can a nigga talk to you not only about a baby that's not his, but also a dead baby, one that's been dead for a year? This shit was terrifying, B. That ain't even the icing on the motherfucking cake, B. Hear this shit. Black women are gods. I go to my mentoring session. I mentor little girls in Virginia. Anyone who knows me knows I mentor with Sister Mentor. It's a wonderful program. And I was there and I was talking to a homegirl about the shit I was going through. And she was like, well, have you ever looked up the story of a little girl? And I was like, bitch, how would I do that? Black women are gods. We find a way. So this girl literally does some investigative shit that I wasn't even trying to do. Figures out, dead ass, y'all, hear this. This is how creepy it gets. There's actually a news article on this. Dude, God, please. The little girl that he took that picture of was killed by her father. Not only was that little girl killed, her and her mother were killed in like northwest DC or northeast DC. Like, the shit shook me so deeply because I was like, nigga, not only were you literally taking someone else's kid and telling me that like that was your baby? The little girl has been dead for a year and her and her mother were killed by her father. I was terrified. No, bitch. Wait, like, yeah, like, whoa, Reese. Like, whoa. The shit, my whole body was like, this nigga was, yo, I'm fucking a nigga who's that crazy. This shit shook my soul. So I'm like, Tuesday, what the fuck you gonna do? Like, you can't stay here. Like, this nigga is on some other shit. Like, if he's telling you this shit, he's not well, sis. He's not well. So I'm scared. I don't know how to deal with some shit like this. But when I figure it out, I'm so terrified that I can't even stay in my room. So I literally go to McKeldin Library. People who know me know I love libraries. I'm a nerd. It's where I feel safe in life. So I literally left my apartment where I pay rent and I went to McKeldin Library on the University of Maryland and I slept there that night because I was terrified to sleep in my own room. This is some real shit. So I'm like, bitch, you got to make a plan because this is just some wild shit. Like, this is really some wild shit, twos. Like, what the fuck? Like, you don't know this nigga at all. No, bitch, I really did not. Like, when I tell you I did not, I did not. So I'm talking to this nigga who clearly is not well. Like, clearly this nigga is not well. I find out, so when we first started talking, he told me that his great-grandmother had died. So me, like my grandmother, not my my grandmother also passed away a couple years ago, and I was very close to my grandmother. Like, anybody who knows I love my grandmother so deeply. Like, she was sassy as fuck, like just a good-ass woman. And so when he told me that, I was like, yo, like, I'm sorry to hear that. But when I tell you the shit was crazy, because he gave me the waterworks, like goddamn Viola Davis shit rolling out his nose and like spit everywhere. And I'm just like, damn, this nigga really distraught as a motherfucker. So in my mind, I'm like, yo, I'm a healer. Again, y'all know my history. So again, you can contextualize the shit. So I'm like, yo, like, I'm trying to be present for you. You're not my nigga, but you are a human being. And any human being that experiences loss deserves someone to be present for them. So I'm literally talking to this nigga. Four weeks go past. 4 guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 weeks go past. Every week, almost every day, I'm asking him like, hey, you know, what's happening? He told me his great-grandmother was in South Carolina. And I'm like, hey, you know, my car actually, y'all probably seen this shit I've been posting on my car. Like, my car is not well. And at the time, I really didn't have the money to get the repairs done that I needed. But I was like, yo, when my grandmother died, there was nothing that would stop me from being at her funeral. Like, I love my grandmother so deeply. So I was like, yo, I don't know what needs to happen, but no, I got you. 4 weeks. Black people don't hold our dead for 4 weeks. We don't do that. He lied about his great-grandmother dying. The question is why, right? I'll tell you. Thanksgiving was coming up. And I think he plotted on me to make me feel sorry for him. So Thanksgiving rolls around and he's just like, oh, I'm so sad. Like, my mom is so distraught with planning the funeral. And I was just like, my body was like, Tooz, don't invite him to your house. You don't know this nigga. I dated a nigga for 2 years that barely met my family. That was like, all right, like, you finally kind of, you know, hit some checkpoints so you can meet them. This nigga, I've known him for 3-4 weeks, like, but I was like, yo, losing a great grandmother like that, like, especially because he was telling me all these stories about how he would stay at her farm and shit, like, it was crazy. So I invite this nigga to my Thanksgiving. I don't really know this nigga, but I'm like, yo, I feel bad for you. That was a mistake that I'll never do again because I put my family in harm's way, and I apologize for that shit. That shit's not cool. I'm sorry, guys. It is what it is. So this nigga is literally at my family's house talking about this daughter that he has, not his daughter. Literally picking up my goddaughter, literally being like, oh, you know, as a father, you know, I know little girls. I just, even to right now, like, even thinking about that shit makes me hot because I love my goddaughter. Like, I love her. I don't play when it comes to her. Anybody who know me don't play when it comes to her. Like, she's everything. Like, she's everything. So literally this nigga's around my family, eating my food. I don't fix niggas' plates, so don't get it twisted. That nigga was getting his own shit. But I'm just saying, you literally inhaling our motherfucking air, drinking our drinks and shit, you know, really on some weird shit. And I'm like, yo, like, he, you know, I'm just, because I treat everybody with respect. Anybody. Like, my homegirl who's from Cali, she came to Thanksgiving before. Like, if you with me, know you good, no you love, no you gonna get the fucking best around me. You feel me? Because that's how I roll. So long and short, this nigga, ooh, he put on a performance. I'm motherfucking almost convinced this nigga who he say he is. B. My ancestors said, Tuesday, I need you to sit down because you moving a little too fast, sis. So after the first time we had sex, he was like, I love you. Damn, nigga. Again, the shit's tight, but you need to calm down. But I also realized that, like, it's not my pussy tight. Oh, my shit's so wet, because it is. But I'm just saying, like, it's not just that. Like, it's intimacy. It's people feeling loved. And most people, I genuinely feel this in my soul. Most people walk around and don't feel loved. And so this dude, so the poem I said today, that was some real shit. I really felt like he wanted love. Like, he wanted to take the shit out of me and put it in him. But that's not how that shit works, baby. You got to get yours for you. Anyway, so time goes on and shit. And I'm like, again, I'm piecing all this shit together. Revelations is coming. Ancestors is talking to me. They're like, Tooz, this nigga ain't all the way right. And I'm like, yo, thank you, ancestors. Thank y'all for checking in with a bitch. You feel me? I talk to my ancestors like that. I'm like, yo, thanks for checking in with a bitch. I keep it 100 with my people because they love me like that. So anyway, I'm piecing all this shit together at once. figure out some other shit about this nigga that, again, I don't even want to get into. Like, the revelations are just coming, like, through, like, motherfucking wildfire. So again, dude knows I'm bisexual, and during the time that I was talking to him, I was also talking to a woman who, again, I cared for very much. Her and I had, for 3 years, kind of been on and off. Not a relationship, just like, that shit is a whole other conversation too. Long and short, I was talking to this woman, and he would be like, you know, at the end of the day, you're gonna choose her over me. Like, I'm like, nigga, I'm not choosing you. Like, why you keep talking about this woman? Like, you not in competition because you're not in a race, my nigga. We're fucking. If you catching feelings, I'm not trying to be gutter. I'm trying to be real. I'm telling you, I do not have the emotional capacity to be with a man, to be with anyone. I literally was drained for almost 3 years emotionally. I want to figure out, what does Tuesday like? What shit do Tuesday enjoy? Like, do I even like dick? Do I even like pussy? Do I even like people? I don't know. I'm trying to figure this shit out, my nigga. So again, if you cool with fucking and leaving, great. And again, I'm not that dry, like, oh, fuck me and leave. Like, we can definitely talk. I want to, you know, I want to care about you as a person, but do I love you? Love is a completely different conversation. Long and short, hey, what's up? I see you tuning in. Thank you, love. Long and short, I'm just like, dude is just catching a lot of feelings. And like, I was like, yo, like, I hear you love me. And like, I got love for you. Like, I do. I got love for you. But I'm not in love. I can't. Being in love with someone requires a certain amount of work and energy on my end. I recognize when I love so hard. I love so deep. I love so passionately. That shit can be very scary for people. Like, people have literally told me, like, women and men alike have been like, I don't even know what to do with this. Like, I really don't know. Like, I don't know how to even move with you. And I'm like, my shit is just, it's a lot. So I understand that, and I try to let people know, like, if you're gonna be in a relationship with me, I'm an extra bitch. Like, I'm gonna plan picnics and put candles and hearts, and I'm gonna put rose petals on the bed. And that's not even me being extra. That's to me like, oh, now I know I like you. Let me just do some kind shit for you. Like, I never even got to extra with people, because like, the basic shit for me, for my shit that I think is basic, for people is like, oh my God, you crazy about me. I'm like, nah, nigga, I was just trying to be kind. Like, I think you deserve to walk into a room and see candles and see shit in the shape of a heart. I don't know. I'm a Libra, so I like balance. Hey, Libras. All that to say, so dude is wild as fuck. And so I literally, after I figured all this shit out, I was like, yo, I need to make a plan. So I make a plan that I can't stay in my apartment. So I'm literally in the midst of court right now. So I don't know the law that well. So I don't want to be saying shit that is whatever. But long and short, I told the people at my apartment that I was terrified. I said, I'm gonna back up. And so I talked to dude, and as soon as I figure all this shit out, I actually text my roommates and I said, please do not have X in the apartment when I'm not physically here. I no longer feel safe with him being in this space. And he had been in space with my roommates before. And I was like, look, if y'all want to rock with him, I have nothing against that. He's been nothing but kind to you all. But I don't feel safe with him being in this space when I'm not here. So please, again, if you want to hang out with him outside of his apartment. Tell me why one of my roommates did not read the goddamn text message. I come home, there's niggas in my living room. I'm scared because I pieced together a lot of very, like, uncomfortable shit. And I'm like, I'm scared. I look at him and I'm just like, I'm jumping. And he's like, yo, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, nothing. Honestly, I just had a long day and I want to be alone. He was like, okay, like, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, you know, I just need to be by myself right now. And he's like, all right, well, I mean, like, and I'm just like, this nigga is too much. I'm like, sis, you actually need to deal with this, because no matter how tired, mind you, I teach on a day, I research, I'm a fifth year PhD student. So I have real shit I'm trying to accomplish in life. And so, bitch, he probably is wearing my underwear. And so long and short, I literally talked to him and I'm like, look, like you said, I am talking to a woman and talking to you, and I just feel like I need to figure out what I want. And I realized that, like, I couldn't be like, nigga, I can't talk to you no more, because he would probably go off. Because, like, I just realized he was just not well. And I'm like, people who aren't well, I think sometimes if they feel that you are disconnecting from them, they'll violently react. And I was like, the last thing I want is some conflict. So I was just like, you know, you're right. Like you said before, I don't know, like, you know, I'm in between you and her, and I just need to, you know, not talk to either of you, because I'm just, I need to figure out me, right? It's about me, nigga. It's not about you. It's about me. I'm the wrong one. I'm the one who needs to fucking figure shit out. And he's like, I love you, and I can't believe you're just gonna choose her like that. I was like, no, I'm not choosing her. I'm not choosing you. I'm choosing me. I'm choosing me right now. So again, thank you so much for caring about me. I no longer would like to have sex. I just need to be by myself. And he was like, well, you know what, whatever. And he like literally just starts acting wild as shit. I'm like, yo, this is why this nigga is not good for you twos. Because any other nigga, or not even nigga, but person will be like, yo, you know, I feel for you and I'm hurt, but all right, cool, do you, you know what I mean? And I don't know, like, hurt manifests in very different ways for very different reasons. All that to say, dude starts coming by my apartment, literally banging on my door, like violently banging, until my roommates are like, yo, like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, yo, do not let him in. Like, just let me deal with this. And at the time, long and short, he told me he lived in my building. Yo, the lies are crazy. Not only does this nigga not live in my building, he's sleeping on the couch of one of his friends who lives in the building. He doesn't live on the 3rd floor. And he's basically a squatter. Let's just keep it 100. So yeah, that shit was just fucking disturbing. And so I'm on some like, yo, you've literally been low-key and mind you, I have nothing against people who are homeless. I personally have had a stint with homelessness due to my own ego and not wanting to ask for help from my family. So this is not on some like, oh, I fucked a homeless dude. No, it's like, yo, I fucked a dude who lied to me about his housing status. And that is scary because, like, don't lie. Like, if you're going through some shit, like, you going through, and I recognize that not everyone can be as comfortable to say that. And so anyway, I was just feeling like scared as shit. And after I stopped talking to him, like, he would do very weird shit, like text me like, where are you? Like, it was just literally the shit, just, it would be like, where are you? What are you doing? Like, scary shit. And I was like, yo, this is uncomfortable. And I was trying to be like Tuesday, like, maybe you tripping, like, you know, don't be scared of no nigga, like, you bigger than him anyway. But then I was like, no, bitch, you saw your aunt get dragged from a moving car. Dragged. A grown-ass woman be dragged from a moving car. Don't be dumb. See the signs and get the fuck out of there. So I talked to my apartment building about this. Yes, bitch, it's too much. I know. So when y'all hear me say I hate niggas, this is the foundation. Everyone's like, I can't believe you hate niggas. How could you hate niggas? Well, you wanted to know, bitch. Here you go. I'm not calling you a bitch. I'm just saying these niggas who was out here like, oh, is it that bad? Yes, nigga, it's that bad. So all that to say, I talked to my apartment building. I'm like, look, I don't feel very safe here. I haven't had a negative experience. And I told him all the same shit I told you. I was like, look, I was having casual sex with a guy that I thought lived in your building. He does not, in fact, live in this building. He is a squatter. And on top of this shit, yo, I don't even know if it's legal to say, but I'm gonna say this shit because it's real shit. This nigga told me the super of my building was letting him into his friend's room. So if the super is letting you into your friend's room because you don't have a key, because you don't live there, then what would stop the super from letting him in, from letting you into my room? So I'm scared as shit right now because I'm like, I literally, like, for a couple, like, I was just like, yo, like, you can't sleep in the library, like, all the fucking time. Like, you're a grown-ass woman. You gotta, like, go back to your apartment. Your shit's there. So, like, for the, like, another 2 days, I was like, yo, just stay in your apartment. And I literally was, like, sleeping with the light on. I would, like, turn the light on and go to the bathroom, turn the light on and go to the kitchen. Like, I was on some weird shit. Like, I would go in the elevator and jump. My apartment building, like, there's no, like, that little bar that when you go into the garage is supposed to, like, come up and down. The shit was broke, so anybody can be in there. His car was in there. And so literally at night, because I'm a grad student, I usually spend a lot of time in the library. I love the library. I love knowledge. I love knowledge production. Like, I'm a nerd, high key. Scholar is not no shit I made. Like, I really love this shit. Like, I love it. And so anyway, I'm literally like, scared as shit. I'm coming home and I feel like dude is watching me. Like I feel like someone's eyes are on me as I'm getting out my car. It's really eerie. It's dark. Like the garage is dimly lit. I'm scared. Like I'm scared for my life, and I'm a grown ass woman and I'm paying rent somewhere. I'm scared. So I tell the ladies at my apartment, I'm like, look, man, a black woman and a Latina woman. No shade to y'all. I'm just saying, the shit's not cool. So I tell them the same shit I'm telling y'all, like, yo, I feel like my safety is being compromised in this space, and I understand that I signed a lease. However, what are the steps I need to take in order to break the lease so that yo, bitch, I know it's unbelievable. Bitch, I lived it, and I'm still like, bitch, did you live this shit? Like, when I tell y'all, I'm still trying to understand, and I haven't even got to the crazy part, yo. Like, the shit is wild. So literally, I'm like, I tell my leasing people that, like, I can't live there no more because I'm scared for my life. They tell me you can't break your lease. That's not possible. I'm sorry, bitch. I watched Cinderella as a kid. Whitney Houston said impossible things are happening every day. Don't tell me what the fuck is not impossible. You work for me. You work for me. Tell me it's impossible. Bitch, this is America. This is America. Ain't shit impossible. Don't come to me with that bullshit. So what I did, I said, oh, if you won't let me break my lease, a bitch is getting out of here. Don't play with me. So this whole time I'm nauseous, like, and I think my nausea is because I'm scared. I'm literally overwhelmed, and I'm still teaching. I'm still coming to my discussion sections with my students, joyous as fuck, trying to tell them that, like, no, I'm telling them this as I'm living some shit I'm terrified of. I'm literally like, yo, like, have joy in everything. Like, no matter what obstacles you go through, know that everything's gonna be okay. And they're like, oh, that sounds so nice. I'm like, niggas, I'm living that shit. Like, I'm literally sitting here, like, every day coaching my goddamn self, like, Tuesday. I know that shit's a little crazy right now, but again, you gonna be good, sis. Just keep on, like, keep having faith, keep believing in God. God has always been present for you, sis. Always. Don't ever forget that shit. When all these niggas and bitches and women, your mama, your daddy, your uncle, your auntie, your cousins, if they're not around, God is always present. Nigga, you already know what I'm about to say. Go to the health center at my school. I'm like, yo, I've been feeling really sick. I've been going through this shit with this nigga. I think it's just stress. My gyno says, well, what's up? What you been feeling? I was like, yo, I went to go get some nachos with a friend, and the fucking smell of the sour cream just made me feel like I was gonna throw up. And she was like, are you pregnant? I was like, I ain't pregnant. Like, I fuck with condoms. Like, I make a nigga put on a condom quick. And she was like, I mean, I ain't say it like that because, you know, professional spaces, I try to, you know, have some decorum. And so all that to say, I was like, nah, you know, I wear condoms all the time. She was like, okay, but here it is, bitch. The last time me and this nigga fucked, I looked down, dead ass. I'm talking to y'all with the most seriousness. I looked down, this nigga's taking off the condom. I was like, nigga, what are you doing? He was like, oh, I thought we were done. I'm sorry, nigga, you're still stroking me. Why would you think we were done? And I was like, nigga, get out me. I literally was like, nigga, get out me. And he was like, oh, nigga, get the fuck out. I talks to niggas like this. I don't play games with niggas. I was like, nigga, you gotta get out. Like, don't ever do no shit like that ever again. Like, don't play with me. I was like, well, I saw the condom come out, so I'm thinking that a bitch not pregnant. Yeah, bitch. Yeah. The shit's wild, bitch. So now, fast forward, I'm sitting in the goddamn health center, and I am looking, and they're like, oh, well, you know, do you have health insurance? I'm like, well, yeah, it's been coming out of my check. Long and short, I'm stressing out because Blue Cross Blue Shield, for whatever reason, they mailed me my card, although the shit's coming out of my pay. So they're like, well, we don't know if we'll be able to give you services. And I'm like, y'all need to know if I'm pregnant or not. Like, and I had 67 cents, y'all. Hear this. 67 cents in my bank account. I had no goddamn money to pay for no goddamn pregnancy test or no shit. And my family, I just feel like, I don't like asking people for stuff. I don't. Like, I'm an independent ass bitch. That's how I've been trained. And I was like, yo, I don't want to ask niggas for shit. So I'm literally like, yo, bitch, what you gonna do? I was like, Tuesday, pause. Think about what your options are. So then they were like, all right, well, we'll just do self-pay. Self-pay means you're paying it your motherfucking self. So the rates are high as fuck. So I get the pregnancy test. She calls me. I'm driving. She says, "Where are you?" I was like, "I'm just in the car. I got some shit I gotta do for my business." Cause mind you, like, I have shit to do. I'm a busy bitch. I like being busy. I'm a boss. I love being a boss. I love being CEO of my goddamn self. So I'm driving. She's like, "Well, your results came back and you're pregnant." I literally screamed, y'all. I was like, "Ah!" Like, I remember like being in the car and just screaming, and I just could not stop screaming because I was so like, "Bitch, you really just got pregnant by a nigga who's been lying about a dead baby to you for months?" Like, I was raised Catholic. So yes, bitch, dead. I was dead too, bitch. I was like, the fuck is life right now? So I'm scared as a motherfucker. I'm like, abortion. Like, I'm like, yo, just have an abortion. Like, that's the remedy. Like, you can't have a baby with a nigga who literally ain't right. So she's like, "Yo, just, whenever you get a chance." Yes, Reese, the shit's wild. So anyway, I go to the health center at my school. Shout out to University of Maryland Health Center. Shout out to my gynecologist, an amazing Black woman who was treating me with the utmost respect and care. Women's health is extremely important, y'all. Like, he was plotting. All that to say, my friends say he was plotting from jump. He really was. So long and short, I'm like scared because I'm like, yo, like, I'm pregnant and I've always wanted to be a mother. I value motherhood. My mother is the greatest example of motherhood I think I've ever seen in my life. Her love is infinite. It's big. It's overwhelming. It's smothering. It's kind. It's smooth. It is everything. So growing up, I've always wanted to be a mom, but not like this. And so I go to health center. I'm like, yo, like, what's my options? And she was like, "Well, you could always, adopt and you can give your baby up." I'm like, "Give the baby up, bitch? Like, how far along is a bitch? Like, can I still abort?" And so she was like, "Well, yeah, I'll give you your options or whatever." Yo, long and short, I call all these places. Like, women's health, again, y'all, is not a game, yo. The shit is so crazy. I'm just going to say one. I'm just going to give you one story about this shit, and I'm going to keep the story moving. I call this clinic, and a white lady picks up. A lot of white women work in this field. She says, "Oh, what do you need?" I say, "Yes, ma'am. I am looking for, I think I called it termination services." And she said, "Okay, well, what do you want to do?" And I was like, "Well, I was told that there's an oral pill that you could take by mouth, like basically a pill you take, right? And then the abortion, it goes through." And she was like, "Oh, so you want to bleed out your miscarriage?" I had no words. I had no fucking words for this woman. Number one, I had called numerous clinics. I made an appointment for a clinic in DC, and the woman gave me the wrong address. For whatever reason, I'm not blaming her. Shit happens. It's life. Get to the clinic. They're like, or I get to the location, and it's not a clinic. So I call and I'm like, "Ma'am, this address isn't right." And she's like, "Oh, I apologize, things." I understand, like, when you work in the health field, like, shit is hectic. I'm not mad at nobody. She's like, "All right, well, we'll just reschedule you. You can come to this location, go to that location." I go inside. The shit is dark. Look like some fucking For Color Girl shit with that Tyler Perry shit. And the lady was walking in a dark goddamn place to get the abortion. Yo, the shit looked like that. And I'm like, yo, this is goddamn 18. The shit is scary as a bitch. And so I go in, and it's like this little ass room with all these women. One man. There was only one dude, and he was a white man with this Black woman. Whole room full of Black women and Latino women just sitting by themselves, waiting to get abortions. Dead ass. Which, again, thank you guys so much for that experience, because now I can understand on a different level why women's health is so important. And I'm not trying to say, like, before I wasn't. No, for real. Before I wasn't. Before I really didn't understand the fucking severity of the goddamn issues. And now I got some real ass life experience about the shit. So all that to say, I talked to the lady. She's like, "Oh well, sis." She was like, "No, you're not on our roster." And I was like, "Ma'am, I just called somebody. She gave me the wrong address, and now she gave me this address. She told me I could come in, and that there was space for me." She's like, "Love, like we're really full, and I really do apologize if we can't take you." And I was like, "You know what, sis? I'm a little disappointed, but I understand, and I'm sending you love." And I walked away because that's the kind of bitch I am. Like, I'm not going to argue with a black woman. Like, we got real shit we go through in life. I don't argue with black women. I don't. Like, I love us too much for that. Mind you, if I got to check somebody, that's a whole different conversation. Everybody can be checked. Anybody can be checked. All that to say, I'm now in my car. I'm calling new clinics. I'm like, yo, I don't know how far along I am, and I want to make sure I can actually have this abortion. So I call this white lady. She tells me that shit. Knowing what I just went through, I drove to DC. I got the wrong address, went to a new address, all this shit. And I'm thinking, if I was a bitch without a car and I was on public transit doing this shit, do you not know how fucking angry I would be? I'm angry as shit in a car. It's cold as a motherfucker outside. I parked goddamn far away from the goddamn clinic. I'm cold. My legs hurt. I'm nauseous as a motherfucker. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm overwhelmed. I'm emotional as a motherfucker. I'm hungry for shit I've never been hungry for. And I'm just like, yo, I am not in a goddamn mood. And so, like, literally, I was like, I'm not in a goddamn mood. Like, I felt that way. Long and short, this white, like, I'm not trying to go on white women, but they be problematic as a motherfucker. And so this white lady gets on the goddamn phone and tells me what I like to bleed out my miscarriage. And I said, ma'am, give me a second, because I just feel really triggered by what you just said. And I don't necessarily know if that was your intention, but that was how it hit me. It hit my spirit like that. So just give me a minute to be. I just need you to not speak. I said this shit. Dead ass. I don't play. I was like, yo, just please don't speak right now. And she was like, well, would you like me to schedule your appointment? I said, no. I no longer need your services. Hung up that goddamn call very quick. Why? Bitch, you ain't giving me no goddamn abortion and you barely know how to speak to me on the goddamn phone? On the phone, you've already treated me like I'm some goddamn nigga. You think I'm about to come into your clinic and pay you money, bitch? Laughable. So I'm like, all right, this shit is crazy. And so, y'all, this shit is so long. I'm wrapping it up. I swear, I appreciate y'all for staying with me, but the shit is wild, B. So I finally call a clinic and they schedule me or whatever, and the shit's $350. Mind you, I have 67 cents in my account. I'm thinking, who can I call and ask for $350 with no explanation? Mind you, I got family that love me deeply. My cousins are on this bitch right now live listening to this shit. My niggas love me, ride for me. Even when I tell them that they ain't shit and that niggas ain't shit, they still like, well, we still love your ass. Your gay ass. I love y'all niggas too. You feel me? Like, love and acceptance, don't conflate that shit. Like, it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, you ain't gotta accept all that I am to love me, and vice versa, you know, like, so yeah, I don't even know who Colin is, yo. Cause I never accepted this, yo. I don't even know who this person is. Don't even pay people no mind. People be wilding. Anyway, all that to say, cause it catch them motherfucking hands, boy. I'm joking, but you know I'm not joking. But all that to say, I was just going through, y'all, and so I've never taken out a loan in my life. Anyone who knows me knows that, like, my mother trained me to, like, if you don't have it, don't buy it, kind of shit. And so I literally was so scared because I was like, yo, I don't know when I'm gonna get this. Like, where am I gonna get $350 from somebody and not be like, well, Tuesday, what you need it for? I'd be like, books. It's like, bitch, $350 books and the goddamn end of the semester. That don't sound like no shit. You know what I mean? People, my people got common sense. You feel me? And so I was just like, yo, take out this loan too. Like, you don't want to, but right now, like, you ain't got much options, B. So I'm like, well, maybe I can sell my hoodies. Like, sis. So for those of you who got those text messages, that's why the fuck I was blowing y'all up, because a bitch didn't have no money. And I was like, mind you, also, I believe in my brand. Like, I believe that Black Joy is a dope ass fucking hoodie. I think the shit is popping, and I would love people to wear the shit, because I want you to feel joyous. I want you to feel alive. You feel me? Yo, Cullum is funny as shit, yo. It's so funny when people be trying to troll me, cause I'm really a funny nigga. Like, I'm funny as shit, so like, I will troll you back. Like, I will go in and be like, yo, like, Maurice, no, like, cause Maurice be trying to like low-key like troll my page and shit, and we go, so like, y'all don't worry about that shit. Like, if I need to, I'll pack the fuck out of this nigga. Like, don't worry, I ain't even paying it on mine. It's funny to me. And so anyway, all that to say, I take out a loan, and it's the first loan I've taken out of my life besides my car loan. So for those of you who know, I only have one line of credit, which, if y'all know, y'all been following my apartment thing, you know, I was having a very hard time getting an apartment because when you only have one line of credit, it doesn't really look too good to lenders. And so long and short, I was like, yo, Twos, you need this money to get this abortion. Like, there's no way you can have this dude's baby. And so especially if it was a boy, oh my God, like, I couldn't even live with myself, you know, like, I just knew that this wasn't a wave I could ride. And so I get the loan. And actually one of my homegirls, a shout out to you again, I don't want to put your identity out there because I want to respect, you know, you being a homegirl to me. She was like, look, Twos, if you need the money, I figure it out. I was like, yo, that's some real shit. That's some loyalty. So if you're listening, know I love you. Thank you for riding with me since motherfucking day one. You are A1 since day one, bitch. Like, salute to you. Thank you for being present for me. No, I got you forever. All that to say, shit was wild. And so yeah, shit was wild. I took out the loan, and yeah, I took out the loan and I had the abortion. At the same time, I literally moved all of my shit out of my apartment. So I'm pregnant and I'm packing all my bags. Like, I literally packed everything in my room and I moved out of my apartment. And mind you, the people, my leasing people, were not trying to help me break the lease. And after I told them that, like, I felt like I was being stalked, I was terrified. I felt like he was coming in my room when I wasn't there, like literally getting into my room when I wasn't there. He had stolen from me before. Like, I knew he stole from me before. I gave him money. Here's a story on that, just because you're like, bitch, you giving niggas money? Because you know I don't do that shit. My family know I don't do that shit. Here's the thing. This nigga knew I was in grad school. He was like, oh, I need to take a test. I was like, all right, well, okay. He was like, well, you know, if I don't take this test, I'm gonna get kicked out of grad school. And I was like, yo, that's like, I don't play with education. Education's not for play with twos. Like, I don't. Anyone who know me, I will talk to you about scholarships, about motherfucking grants, about whatever you want for school. I will sit for hours and talk to you because I love school. I think school is amazing. All that to say, he was like, oh, I need this money for this test, or else I'm gonna get kicked out of Georgetown. So I was like, nigga, what you need? He's like, the test costs $40. I should have known, bitch. What test you take in grad school costs $40? But a bitch was tired because I worked all day. So I heard the shit. And yo said Biggie Smalls. Yo, that's kind of funny though, y'all. Like, that's kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. All right, anyway. So this nigga, basically this nigga played me for $40. I ain't mad. A bitch done got more money since then. My God is amazing, y'all. When I tell y'all I'm living well, a bitch is living so goddamn well. A bitch is so goddamn blessed. Like, again, my God is amazing. All that to say, dude curved me for $40. This shit happens. We all get losses in life. That's one of mine. And so all that to say, dude was crazy. And right, bitch, $40, nigga. $40. I think he bought weed with it on some real shit, but it really do be like that, bitch. It be like that. So all that shit to say, I'm moving out my apartment at the same time that I'm trying to have this abortion, at the same time that I'm like booking hotels because I love my mother deeply. There's no greater love in my world, in the galaxy, than my mother. I would literally lay down my life for this woman without question. But my mother and I have a very different standard of living. I'm going to keep it at that because I respect her. I've lived with my aunt before, love her very deeply. That can't work. My uncle, that cannot work. So I realized, bitch, you can't live with your family because you're a grown-ass woman. Let's just keep it at that. Bitch, what you gonna do? I said, bitch, you gonna use this loan money to make sure you're safe and secure. I have not been tagging my location recently, if y'all have been noticing, because I do not want this nigga to know where I'm at. Let's just say I am not in Maryland. Y'all know that shit. That's all you know. All that shit to say, I was terrified. I left the state. I'm in a different state. And I just was like, bitch, you need to be somewhere safe. And so, yeah. And so long and short, one of my homegirls who, how am I booking hotels with 67 cents? So again, I told you I took out a loan. So for those of you maybe joining right now, I took out a loan through the University of Maryland. So as a graduate student, you are like, for people who are in grad school or even in college in general, you're offered loans every year. And for me, I never would take them because my mom said, if you don't have it, if you don't need to, don't take money that you don't need. But a bitch needed money. So I took out a loan with my school, which is the first loan I've ever taken out in my life because I was terrified and I just did not have money. So thank you, God. Thank you, government, for having loans. Like people always complain like loan, loan, loan. Like, yo, loan was the reason why I'm safe right now. So shout out to motherfucking loans. You feel me? And so, yeah. And also sidebar on loans. I used to be very negative about loans, and I want to apologize for people who be like, oh, it's like, oh yeah, I got all through college without loans. Like, people need loans. It's a very privileged thing to be like, yo, I don't need a loan. And I've been very privileged in my life to not have to take out loans. So like, I'm not trying to shit on loans. I'm just saying that like the way that I was raised, mom just really pushed me not taking out loans. But I'm not going to spend all day on that shit. All that shit to say, I booked hotels. I actually had my abortion. My homegirl who was battling cancer, here it is. This woman, Latina woman, was, and I'm saying Latina because I talk so much about like black women, black women, black women because I love black women. But other women show up for me in my life, and I want to say thank you to all the women and men who show up for me. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all deeply. All that shit to say, my homegirl who has been battling cancer, I think she was diagnosed when she was 24. She's now 26, and she is present. So this woman was like sick all the time. I saw her really go through, and I called her. I was like, yo, sis, like, I need somebody here with me. And originally I was like, nah, I can do this by myself. Like, I do everything by myself. Like, I'm a boss, bitch. And I was like, Tuesday, that's that dumb shit. Let that shit go, sis. Like, you need somebody right now. Called her. She said, I got you. She came through. And I actually had the abortion at the Sheridan, crazy, in Towson, because I was in Baltimore doing some work, and I was doing some work with the school, and I was like, yo, I don't, like, again, my life don't stop because my personal shit happens. I'm about my business. I'm a business woman. And so I was doing workshops for schools while having an abortion, while being nauseous, while trying to get hotel shit in order. And so, and I did all that shit because God is greater than anything that I know or anything that I can do alone. So all that shit to say, I had the abortion. My homegirl was there for me the whole time. And it's so crazy because I really felt like on some symbolic spiritual shit that it was like me shedding my old self. It was like all the shit that I used to really believe in, like this, like, oh, I need this or I gotta do that. Like, oh, dang, my battery getting low and shit. All that shit to say, like, I felt like the abortion was this kind of transition stage for me to be like really come into my new self. And so my foundation is the same, but my navigation's a little different. You feel me? All that shit to say, that shit, the abortion passes. And then my last thing, absolute last thing. So while I'm going through this shit, I'm talking to a dude. One dude, just one. When I first met this dude, remember I told y'all I was on some fuck shit. For those of you who don't know, y'all join later. When I broke up with my ex-boy, when I broke up with a guy that I was with for a while, I decided I wanted to be sexually free and just be out here figuring out my sexuality. So I was talking to a lot of dudes. I ended up meeting this one dude on Tinder that was just everything I wanted. When I tell y'all, like, I was always like, oh, you know, I want a hood nigga with Harvard ambition, Howard swag, and Hogwarts creativity. Like, that was this nigga. Like, tall, brown-skinned dude with dreads, like, aesthetically presents as very hood, but when you talk to him, it's very, like, has depth and has, like, And that's like, oh, he has depth and he's hood. Like, no. And I also want to be very clear. I don't shit on hood niggas. Like, and I'm not saying hood niggas like, oh, you just a hood nigga. I'm saying your environment, people would classify as hood. And I actually really admire a lot of hood niggas because, like, to be in that environment, again, I grew up on Richwood. Like, and I'm not like, Richwood is the hood, but like, it's a neighborhood. It's a space that people occupy. And so all that to say, I grew up loving those men because they loved me so much. Like, I remember I went to private school where like white dudes never talked to a bitch. Like, I was this bad in high school, niggas. I looked this good in high school, niggas. A bitch was flossy and a motherfucker in high school, my nigga. I've looked this good for a very long time. In high school, my nigga, mind you, I went to an all-girls school. There's an all-boys school across the street. I literally thought I was like the ugliest bitch ever. Because niggas, like, I'm saying niggas, and I'm generally talking about dudes. White men, black men, Asian men. I would walk around feeling like people would just walk, like, looking through me. Not even at me, but through me. I was like, damn, am I unattractive in this motherfucker? Like, people gonna be trying to holler. People gonna be trying to get my number. People gonna be trying to even talk to a bitch. Like, goddamn, did my breath stink or some shit? Long and short, a bitch was like, nigga gonna be showing me no love on campus. But when I would go home, when I would go on the bus, when I'd be around my people, when I'd be around hood niggas, they'd be like, shorty, you look good. Excuse me, sweetheart. Excuse me, ma. And mind you, that shit, people were like, oh my God, catcalling. I get catcalling can be very problematic. But I also really appreciate black men who would let me know through their language that like, yo, you're attractive to me. You're a beautiful woman. I want to talk to you. That shit made me feel good at 15 and 16 years old. Because when I was at school, nobody was checking for me. No one was like, oh, Tuesday, like, I'm trying to talk to you. Or like, hey, let's study together. That shit was not popping off. For numerous reasons, right? Not trying to blame nobody. We was all insecure in high school. Let's not be on that like, oh, high school shit. Get over the shit. Do your healing work. Move forward. All that to say, a bitch was like, wow, like a bitch trying to be out here. I'm trying to fuck niggas that I actually want because a bitch has spent too much time. Let me just tangent as well. Most dudes I talk to in relationships, I was not sexually attracted to. People are like, why would you do that shit? That's weird. I'm like, I really love intellect. I'm really a nerd. This is not a game. I'm not, I'm a nerd, scholar shit. No, I really like words. I really like thoughts. I really like guys who put thought in their words. Most of the niggas I like that I find aesthetically pleasing don't do that for me. For me. I'm just saying. So for me, what I realized was like, oh, the guys that I'm sexually attracted to, I'm not that intellectually drawn to. So how do I build this? How do I get over this shit? Well, I was like, well, you can fuck the dudes you want to fuck, and then you can actually relationship with the dudes that you have this intellectual thing with. The problem with that is that when you're with someone that you're not that sexually drawn to, it shows. Like, you can't get, the chemistry is not there, shit don't pop off. But for me, I'm like, well, I feel safe around intellectual niggas. I feel like intellectual niggas, if I say stop, this is not a general rule. Niggas with degrees and with intellect are as grimy, as crusty, and as crummy as niggas on a block. Let's not get it twisted. But I have oftentimes felt more safe in the company of men who have a little more intellectual aptitude, and that does not mean you have a degree. That just means that you know how to motherfucking hold a conversation. Than I felt around dudes that just look good. Okay, just keeping it a stack with y'all. All that to say, I'm talking to dude. Initially, again, I met him back when I was, let's just call it whole phase, just for the purposes of this conversation. So I talked to dude when I was in whole phase. During whole phase, he would hit me like at night, once a day. Not once a day, like once a month kind of shit. Mind you, I've known him 3 months. So first 2 months, I would hear from him like maybe once or twice a month. And again, I was fucking other niggas. So in my phone, he was just like, this nigga. Like, I literally had his name as this nigga because he was just this nigga that I'm trying to fuck. Like, that was my whole motivation with this nigga. So now, again, I went through all the shit with dude who was lying to me. I'm piecing shit together. I'm moving out of my apartment. I'm about to have an abortion. I have an abortion. And while all this shit is happening, I'm talking to this one nigga. Mind you, a bitch don't want a relationship. I'm scared as a motherfucker. I'm terrified of niggas at this point. I'm like, yo, niggas is wild out this bitch. So I'm just like, yo, I just need somebody to be present for me. Like, again, you not my nigga. I'm not your bitch. I'm not trying to make you nothing. I'm just saying, yo, like, I'm going through something right now. And, like, you've been present for me. And I appreciate that. But if you can, like, you know, if you can just check in on a bitch. Because, like, I'm a little scared. And my friends, I love y'all. I really do. But y'all be think I'm a motherfucking superwoman. And I'm not. I'm a regular ass bitch. People be trying to be like, oh, I'm gonna give you advice, you know, stay strong. No, bitch, I don't need to stay strong right now. I need a goddamn ear, bitch. Don't give me no advice. I will ask you for advice when I need it. But again, I'm sitting here like, so I'm like, yo, I can't talk to my friends about this shit because they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, Twos, like, how, Twos, oh my gosh. Bitch, I ain't got time for, oh my gosh. Like, I'm on some real shit. And so I'm talking to dude and he's like, he's actually being like a good, pretty good person. Here we go. This is when the shit gets crazy. Not even crazy, just inconvenient. We start talking and we actually like, mind you, because the first 2 months was just like, I'm trying to fuck you, trying to fuck me. For whatever reason, the universe was like, this shit's not going to happen. So now third month rolls around, all the bullshit's didn't happen. And now I'm staying at hotels and shit. I'm like, yo, we start talking heavy, like literally like 2 or 3 hours, like we would be having these, mind you, it wasn't a lot, maybe like 4 or 5 times we talked like this, but like it's a lot to talk to someone from 3 hours. Like, I don't be talking to y'all long as shit, so you know I can talk all that shit to say, dude and I've been talking. And I'm like, yo, I was like, yo, I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. Like, I'm actually kind of like low-key feeling you. Like, mind you, I don't want a relationship, I'm not trying to build nothing, I think you're actually a cool dude. And he's like, yo, like, I'm kind of feeling you too, blah, blah, blah. He was like, but, you know, when you first met me, you was just trying to fuck. And I was like, yo, I understand. I was in a different place in life. You know, I'm not saying, I don't even know what the fuck a bitch really want. I'm just saying you cool. I enjoy you. I told this nigga for 3 hours. This nigga proceeds to ghost my ass for not long, maybe a couple of days, 3 or 4 days. So I'm like, I hit him up. I'm like, yo, we good? Like, and I'm just checking in, like, because we was talking and now we not talking. And he was like, I'm just busy. I was like, okay, cool. Again, I'm a boss bitch. I be busy. I do a lot of shit. I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And then, like, I text him. He would text me back, like, bitches, hear this. 10 hours later? Nigga, 10 hours, my nigga? What the fuck you doing? Like, mind you, I'm a boss bitch. I understand. I love to read. I love shit. I love words. I can get lost in a goddamn book and forget I'm even in the motherfucking place I'm in. But 10 hours, my nigga? And you liking all my IG pictures, but you have no time to respond to nothing? That shit that I'm talking about. So I literally was like, yo, on some real shit, like, hey, oh, yeah. So long and short, I'm like, look, nigga, like, you know, on some real shit, like, you cool, but let's not, his name is not James. You know, nigga named James who foul as shit. Girl, we all know one of them. And all that shit to say, I was like, look, dude, like, you cool, but this is just not gonna work. Like, even on some friend shit, like, my friends don't treat me like this. Like, my friends make time and space for me. So even if you're just trying to be cool, you're not trying to fuck, which is on some real shit, like, I still think you look good. Like, and I can't fuck you right now because, again, you know I just had an abortion. But later down the line, you look good. So I'm just keeping it a stack. Like, I would fuck you later in life. Just right now, I'm not with the shits. Anyway, so long and short, dude was like, okay. No, he says, no, this is his thing. He said, understood. Nigga! I was like, nigga, okay. So I was like, Twos, keep it the fuck moving, sis. Like, you a bad bitch. You smart as shit. You pretty as shit. Like, you got a lot going on. You have a lot to give. You got a lot of love to give. Don't be with this nigga. Like, and he not even your nigga, right? Like, he not even your nigga. He just some dude that you talking to that was kind and was present for you when you needed, right? Tried it, bitch. I know. So anyway, so then a bitch was being dumb. Let's just be very clear. And I was like, yo, he said understood. And I was like, this shit's bothering me. Cause this dude and I, you guys addressed, bitch, no, I don't. Anyway, all that shit to say, Logan, you funny. And I should just say, I'm like, yo, this shit is wild. All that shit to say, I'm like, at this point where I'm like, yo, I really was kind of low. I think he low-key a cool dude, but maybe he really just don't know that, like, you gotta put in work with women. This nigga's almost 30. So in my mind, I'm like, nigga, if y'all know you're at 30 that you gotta put in work, like, you know, like. So anyway, all that shit to say, I was on some dumb shit, and I messaged him and I was like, look, not for me, because, you know, I understand that our shit is done, but for the next woman, put in some work. Like, you can't say that you feeling somebody and not text them or call them or show any interest. That's all I said. And then I said, continue to be great. So in my mind, I was like, we done. Like, I'm not mad at you. No bad blood. I think he a cool dude. But I just can't fuck with you because you don't speak to me. Like, why would you want to just have me on the periphery, nigga? Like, why? Like, I'm not motherfucking, I don't know. That's just weird to me. Like, why you don't ever want to talk to me, but you want me to be around? Like, that's weird. And so, long and short, he literally messages me back with this, like, fucking 8 long-ass Instagram paragraphs. Like, you know, you're emotionally unstable, and I feel like, you know, when we first met, you wanted to sit on my face. Let me be 100% clear. When I met this nigga, I wanted to fuck. That was my only goal in life, was with this nigga, was to fuck. Let's be very clear. So when I met him, I think one of my first messages was like, yo, I'm trying to sit on your face. That's me being real. That's me being honest. He wanted a side hoe. Yo, dead ass, I low-key think that the woman he sends baby mama that he wasn't with, I think he actually with that bitch. She not, and mind you, she not a bitch. She's a woman. She's a great woman who probably riding for this nigga, and he probably out here just trying to swerve bitches because he fine. Bitch, he is fine, bitch. Like, this nigga is fine. This nigga's like, god damn, nigga. Like, damn, they still make him like you, nigga. Like, long dreads, chocolate looking good, shoulders broad, about to claw your little ass, nigga. That kind of nigga where you like, damn, you about to just do some shit like, ah. But I'm just like, nigga, you gotta remember, I'm me. So, like, I'm a boss bitch. Like, I'm about to put some shit on you haven't had before. All that shit to say, I'm now talking to this nigga. And I'm just like, he can give me this long ass paragraph. So I'm like, I know yo, you hate niggas, right? After you know all that shit, you like, yo, sending you a 4-page letter ass nigga. Bruh, I can't make this shit up, sis. Like, this shit's so crazy. So now my shit's about to die. I'm about to put this shit on a charger. All that shit to say. So now, like, yo, this shit's so wild, B. Like, this shit still, I'm like, oh shit, my phone was on some wild shit. All that shit to say, I'm like, oh shit, like, this is crazy. So, I'm putting it on a charger, y'all. Y'all, I'm gonna wrap this shit up, because we've been rapping for a minute. All that shit to say, so I'm talking to old boy, right? And I'm like, yo, he trying. Like, he reached out to me. I was being a dumb bitch. Let's just be clear. Sometimes you a dumb bitch in life. I was being a dumb bitch. And so I'm like, yo, like, he told me how he feel. He was like, yeah, you know, I just feel like you emotionally unstable. Like, you know, you basically wanted to sit on my face, and then you had a conversation with me and realized that you wanted me to be more. And I was like, yo, that's some real shit. Like, I did meet you 3 months ago, and I wanted to sit on your face. And you agreed that that was some shit you wanted to happen. I'm a grown-ass woman. I do not say, oh, can we? No, nigga, I want you to eat the box. The fuck? No, eat my ass too. Like, what else? Like, nigga, what else can you do? Like, what the fuck can you do? I'm trying to be real here, my niggas. Like, I'm not one of those like, oh, guy, can we? No, if you want that kind of woman, they're out there, and they want you. You look good as fuck. They want you. Me, I'm a direct bitch. I'm gonna tell you straight up. Like, don't do this, don't do that. This is what I like. This is what I don't like. Nigga, don't be like, oh, no, I ain't got time for them games. I got dissertation to write. I got workshops to lead. I got fun to have, nigga. I can masturbate while we doing this dumb shit. Like, if that's what you talk, if that's what you want to be on. All that to say, I'm just like, look, nigga, I'm real direct. I know what I like. I ask what I want, and I expect it. So then he's like, you know, you're just a little emotional. And I was like, look, I'm an emotional woman. I got a lot of emotions. I got a lot of thoughts. If you can't handle that, I'm not mad at you. I'm just trying to keep it a stack with you, because, like, I've dealt with some crazy niggas, and this is not the, mind you, I just told you about 2 niggas. Just 2 niggas that told me they loved me while having sex. I'm not like, oh, my pussy game so tight. And again, it is. Let's just keep it a stack. But it's like, yo, I'm a very wonderful lover. I care for people. Even people who are my friends, they be like, yo, Too's, like, after talking to you, I feel a lot better. And I'm like, because I'm a nice person. Anybody in my presence, no, I'm a nice person. I'm going to treat you. I'm going to treat you with the highest level of respect. I'm going to listen. I'm going to be present. I'm going to make a joke. I'm going to be me. That's me, you feel me? Even dudes who met me in college, I'll be going on niggas. Because that's who I am. Like, I think that shit's hilarious. All that to say, now I'm talking to dude. Thank you, Lo. I appreciate you, Logan. All that shit to say. So then I'm like, all right, you know, I'm gonna give dude another chance. You feel me? Like, you know, he look good. I'm trying to fuck. Like, I'm not, bitches. A bitch may be into some trauma, but my pussy still functions the same. So I'm like, yo, he looking good. I'm looking good. You know what I mean? Like, after a bitch healed up, I'm trying to. I don't want to put his shit out there like that. Long and short, he would tell me about what he called jungle sessions. Again, I hope this is not disclosed any shit. Because I feel like mad niggas say that. So maybe this is not going to say no shit about him. But the way he described these jungle sessions, I was like, a bitch trying to see what you're working with. Again, I got talents of my own. But I'm just trying to say, like, I am not opposed to getting my back blown out. You feel me? And so long and short, talking to dude, and we transition from like on some pure like sex shit to like goals, and I'm very goal oriented. So I'm talking to him about my short-term, long-term goals. I talk to him about SMART goals. Like, I don't just say this shit in workshops. Like, I live this. I live a structured existence. Like, you can't be out here just willy-nilly and shit. Like, that shit don't work in life, because you will be some willy-nilly ass nigga and you'll be doing some dumb shit. So long and short, we're talking, and we're like talking like damn near every night. Like, not every night. Not every night, but we're talking consistently. And I realized that like he low key like think I'm cool. Like, he wouldn't be saying like little shit, but I'm like, yo, like, you know, you kind of doing a little much. He'd be like long and short, I told him like, yo, my favorite movie is Cinderella. And I was like, yo, like, have you seen it? Like the 1997 Cinderella with Whitney Houston, like, nigga, not the white one. I don't do the white version. I'm keeping it a stack. And he was like, what? I was like, yeah, because they waltz. Like, they waltz when she comes in. Like, Cinderella walks down the stairs and she sees her prince. And, like, they just fall into a motherfucking waltz. Like, when I get married, my nigga needs to know for the reception, we waltzing, nigga. Like, we waltzing, nigga. And actually, at this point, it's a woman. So, like, 100%, bitch, we waltzing. So just get ready. We're going to have some waltzing lessons. And a bitch is waltzing at my goddamn wedding. Like, I'm going to be like, it's going to be like, bitch, I'm having that happen. That's been a dream of mine. It's gonna happen. Long and short, this nigga was like, well, and it's weird because I think that some shit would just come out and he just wasn't even aware of the shit. And I'm not trying to like make this nigga extra and all this shit like that. He was a cool nigga. He just not for me, you feel me? And I told him that, like, yo, you cool as shit. You gonna make some woman happier than a motherfucker. Like, you look good as shit. You smart. You funny. You got a lot going on. Like, you a low-key motherfucking catch. You feel me? But so am I, nigga. So all that shit to say, he was like, yeah, well, you know, when we get married, I'm not waltzing. When we get married, nigga, you barely call me, nigga. Talking about when we get married. He caught himself and he was like, oh, nah, I mean, like, you know, I ain't waltzing with no woman. I'm like, nigga, if you love that bitch, you gonna be waltzing your little ass anywhere she asks. So shut the fuck up. I'm just keeping it a stack with you. All that shit to say, we talking. And I'm like, yo, like, why aren't we hanging out? And he was like, I just feel like you're emotionally unstable. And I was like, yo, like, I hear you, but I just had an abortion. You know that. Like, I'm alone. Like, I moved out of the state of Maryland to heal because I felt like I can't heal in Baltimore. I can't heal in the state of Maryland in general. Like, I need to be away so my physical body and my mental self can heal. Nigga, you know this. I don't even want to tell, I'm not going to tell no more about him. All I should to say, I was like, nigga, you know what I've been through. You know what I've been through with dude. You know what I've been through with hella other dudes. And you treating me like my emotionality is somehow like me being a crazy bitch. It's like, nigga, I just literally passed a motherfucking, look, the shit that passed through me was like this big and it drops like the doctor was like, yo, you'll know when the abortion has passed because you'll feel the shit. Nigga, I felt that shit. And it was painful as shit. I thought I was going to die. I really deadass was like, yo, like, if I die, like, you know, what am I talking about? Like, what? I was telling my friend, I was like, yo, like, if some shit happened to me, like, call my mother and just let her know that, like, I just got sick so that she can come to the, hospital. And then once she's at the hospital, let her know, like, what's actually going on. But, like, my mother, I know my mother can be very emotional, and sometimes her emotions can, long and short, I love my mother, and I just didn't want her to be overwhelmed. So, this nigga gonna tell me, you're just emotionally unstable. Yes, nigga, the shit is scary, nigga. I just moved out my apartment. Motherfucker stalking me. Motherfucker don't have a goddamn baby at all. Motherfucker co-op the goddamn story of a baby that got killed by her goddamn father. Like, nigga, what? Yes, goddamn, I got emotions. Wouldn't you have emotions, nigga? Goddamn. So, but again, you still talking to me. You still talking about fucking me. You still talking about all this other shit, your dreams and shit, nigga. The fuck, nigga? Fuck out of my face. All that shit to say. Niggas, I know, girl. This is why I'm like, yo, pussy for life. Like, I am tunnel vision now. I just ain't got no time. All that shit to say, I'm talking to dude, and I'm like, yo, real talk. I'm a real clear bitch. When I fuck with you, I fuck with you. So I'm like, yo, I'm feeling you. I'm just gonna keep it a stack. So what we gonna do about this? Like, again, I'm not trying to fuck you. Like, my womb needs to heal. So he's like, well, I want to make sure you're emotionally stable before we hang out. Nigga, you're not my therapist. Again, I appreciate the sentiment, but I don't need you to keep telling me what I am. Like, I'm good. I am really good. I was like, look, I make SMART goals in life. So SMART goals, for those of you who don't know, it's an acronym. It stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. So you make goals according to these principles so that you're not just willy-nilly and shit, right? So instead of saying, I want to do well in school, you'll say, I want to get an A in microbiology by March 27th. Or I want to get, right? Like, they're very specific, they're time-bound, they're realistic, like, and then you can start making steps toward, well, what I need to do in order to achieve that goal. Again, a bitch does workshops on this shit, and a bitch knows what the fuck she talking about, because again, a bitch is bad. Or I should just say, I'm talking to this nigga and I'm like, look, nigga, I was like, look, nigga, I'm gonna put you on some SMART goals. He was like, what? I said, yes, nigga, we doing SMART goals because you don't have no structure and I can't be waiting for forever for us to hang out on some friend shit, nigga. I'm not a motherfucking pen pal, my nigga. Like, not a pen pal. So I've been talking for a long ass time. Shout out to y'all who been riding with me because I've been rapping, my nigga. All that shit to say, I'm literally like, yo, you need some SMART goals or whatever. And he was like, all right. So I literally told him if by February 1st at 1 p.m. we did not hang out, we could just stop talking. Nigga, why am I talking to you for 3 months and we don't hang out? You could be catfishing my little ass. I would never know. And I watch that show and I'd be like, bitch, don't please let that shit happen to me. But you never know. And so all that shit to say, I literally hit dude up on some like, oh no, we talked at night, like one night, and I was like, look, yo, I'm a type of woman, I just need you to know my expectations, because everyone loves differently, and I'm not saying I love you, I'm just saying people express care in different ways. For me, my care comes through contact. That means you need to be communicating with me on a daily, not necessarily a conversation, but at least a text message to just check in, and I'll do the same for you. I believe in reciprocity. 3 days go past, don't hear shit from this nigga. So I'm like, now it's 4 days until the deadline is up. And I'm like, Twos, you could just stop talking to this nigga. Because even if he hangs out with you on February 1st, he's showing you through his actions that he's inconsistent. So why are you, even on some friend shit, even my friends need consistency. Like, I don't need no friend that's wishy-washy. Like, no thank you. I don't ride with them kind of niggas. Like, you need some consistency in your life. Long and short, I was just like, nah. So I hit him up and I was like, you know what? The February 1st deadline is silly. Let's just let it go. You're not what I want. And I just need to tell you that so I can let you be. And I wish you all the best in life. I was like, bitch, this nigga don't talk to you. Like, why are you literally hoping to hang out with somebody who don't even contact you on a regular to see if you breathing? All that shit to say, after this nigga hits me with, bitch, hear this. 12 motherfucking paragraphs worth of goddamn content around, oh, this just goes to show you, you know, you're emotional and you're motherfucking Charlie Brown and that motherfucker. So I was like, nigga, why niggas always trying to come back once you cut them off? What the fuck is up with that? I don't know. Long and short, I decided in my window of being like twos, you were literally with a nigga, yes, except when people show you who they are, sis, right there with you. Long and short, mind you, I had other experiences with dudes, even the ones that I didn't even mention, right? I've been through a lot of shit with niggas in the last couple months. I've been through a lot of shit with niggas in my community and my family. Shout out to the men in my family. I love y'all deeply. We got some healing work to do. I should say, y'all have some healing work to do. You know your work. It is not for me to speak on or to do. It's your work. Love you. Do that work. All that shit to say, I feel like, and this is the thesis, right? All these goddamn stories is to say, I love black men deeply. A love that sometimes I don't even understand. Like, these niggas is trash. But I love them because I see myself in them. I see the fear of love. I see the fear of communicating something that's not reciprocated, right? So if you tell someone that you like them and then they're like, oh gosh, or if you get too invested. So one of the things he would say to me was, he would say, I said, you know, so I do a lot of business shit in my relationships. Like, I talk to dudes like I'm like a motherfucking business, right? Because you're my motherfucking business. And so I was like, yo, I need an investment. You need to make an investment in me. If you don't want to make an investment, let's just end the shit, because I'm not about putting capital. Time to me is capital. So if I'm putting my time into you, I'm investing capital in you, and if you have no return, nigga, what the fuck we doing? And so he was like, I mean, I'm interested, I'm just not invested right now. You kind of got to give me time to be invested. Nigga, you know me for 3 months. We've had long ass conversations. Again, I'm not asking to be your bitch. I'm not asking to be your girlfriend, your wife, your side hoe, nothing. I'm just saying, if we cool, we should hang out. Like, I should be able to, like, kick it with you, right? But you don't want to do that, so let's stop playing this game. All that shit to say, shit never happened. And so I was just like, you know what, Suze, you've been through so much with niggas, and these niggas need to do some healing work, and so do you, bitch, because you are broken over this shit. You are hurting because of how dudes treat you. You do not deserve to be treated like this, and yet you keep talking to men. And it's not even just like, oh, niggas, yeah, these hood niggas. No, I've talked to men multiple degrees, men who go to corporate jobs, men who say that they love their mothers, men with daughters, men who say that they love their daughters, men who were divorced. I've talked to men in their 40s. I've talked to men in their early 20s. I talk to men in their mid-20s. I talk to men in their early 30s, right? I have a range. I talk to men, Asian men, Latino men. A bitch has really been out here trying to give niggas a shot. And what I'm realizing is that all the energy I keep putting into men, effortlessly women give me. Effortlessly women show up for me. Effortlessly, like women will literally call me up and be like, hey sis, just checking in on you. Or like, I have sisters that be like, yo sis, you know, I just feel in my spirit that something ain't right with you. I just want to check in. I have sisters who like, look, Tooz, you hurting, and I need you to hear the hurt in your voice. It's just like, yo, that's love, B. Like, and I want for the black men or men in general who are on this live shit, men in general, because it's not even just some black men shit. Like, I come into contact most frequently with black men because we oftentimes, you know, we have intraracial networks. Like, most people, that's just some sociological shit everybody should know. Like, most people fuck with people of their own race, right? So I most often frequent being around black men, and it's like every time I'm in the company of a black man and we're doing some romantic shit, it is traumatic. It is being ignored. It is being called crazy in some way, right? It's being called overly emotional. It is having to read between the lines. It is having to wait hours for text backs. Sidebar. So there was a dude I was talking to who I met in New York. And long and short, him and I were just kind of cool. We just was vibing. And then he was like, oh, I have a girlfriend. I was like, oh, like, you know, because for me, I'm like, yo, I don't know. I don't really want to, yo, chill with that shit, B. Also that white dude shit. So I have been with a white man before. And I loved him very deeply. He was a very wonderful person. I'm not really into the whole like racial solidarity. Like, oh, I gotta be with a black man. I gotta be with this man. No, I'm into love. I'm deeply into love. I'm deeply into people loving each other and being able to see each other, reflect each other, build with each other. So if that person's white, if that person's black, if that person's Asian, if that person's Latino or Native American or whatever that person is, I want to be loved. I want to be loved deeply. And so long and short, I'm saying all that shit to say, I know that people see my statuses and they're like, oh, you know, she's on anti-men shit. And I'm like, no, I'm anti-disrespect. I'm anti-bad communication. I'm anti-games. I'm anti-psychological warfare, actually, right? Because that's what it kind of is. It's like this psychological Olympics where you feel like you gotta motherfucking decode what niggas are saying and why they're saying it and if they're really saying this or that, or you get these one-word responses, or you barely get responses. And I'm like, right? Like, I know I'm worthy of more. And if that means that, thanks, Reese, I appreciate that. Because y'all know I love y'all. Like, any man in my life, know I ride for them. Know I ride for them. I'll call my cousin up any time of the day and be like, yo, I'm just checking on you, B. I'm just showing you some love. Ask any of my cousins, any of them. Like, I'll be like, yo, I just calling to see if you alive, dog. And like, they'll laugh at me, but like, I love them. They don't accept all the shit I do. I don't accept all the shit that they do. But for me, love is not about acceptance. It's not. I don't accept everything my mama do. And she's a god in my eyes. So it's like, I don't need you to accept me to love me. To me, love is about being present. Can you stand with me? Even in my bullshit, in my messiness, in my depression, in my fuck shit, in my victories, in my triumph. Like, can you be present for me? That to me is love. And to be real, I don't feel that from black men all the time. I love y'all. Hear the love in this. So all that to say, I have decided that I don't feel like I'm respected and I have a choice. This is not to say that every woman who or man who's part of the LGBT community feels that way. I am not a motherfucking representative for every LGBT person. I'm saying Tuesday Barnes, bisexual as Tuesday Barnes, that loves sex with women and loves sex with men, is choosing to prioritize my healing and myself, my personhood, by not engaging sexually with black men or men in general. But again, I mostly have been with black men just because of network shit. Because I do not feel like my politics are respected. And at the end of the day, a partnership to me is not about sex. I love sex. Y'all know my stories. I love sex, but sex is not the only thing. Like, sex is one part of a larger scheme of shit that happens in a relationship. Like, most of the time, you talking about food, you talking about your day, you talking about some shit your mama done told you and you pissed off because she being annoying again. Like, dumb shit like that. And it's like, yo, if I can't even talk to you about the mundane, you know what I mean? Like, then what you here for? What am I, what? So all that to say, I'm on a journey toward healing and toward self-love and toward honesty and authenticity, you know. And that's why when I talk, you guys, I really do talk from a place of like, of love, of like honesty. Like, I don't want my daughter or my son to grow up in a world where they gotta be like, oh, I don't know if I can talk about sex. It's like, no, talk about your wounds. One of the most prolific things, and I'm gonna end it because I've been rapping. I know I said this shit a while ago, but Chimamanda Adichie posted this, or I think her team posted this letter a while ago, when she was talking about her depression, and they have since like taken it down. But I was going through a really trying time that I believe I was experiencing. Excuse me. I was experiencing a high form of depression as well as paranoia, because like shit was just crazy. Y'all know shit. Y'all know the story now, and so I'm terrified. I'm in my room. I'm alone. I was going through a lot, you know, and I read Chimamanda's letter about her going through her depression and feeling unlovable and feeling like, why are these people in my life? And I was like, yo, she was so vulnerable. And that shit really motivated me to like even get out the bed, to even wash, to even eat, because I was so scared. I was so debilitated by it. And mind you, I was still in grad school. I'm still like trying to write a dissertation. I'm still trying to prove that like I want to be here. I want to be a scholar. I believe in scholarship. I believe in knowledge production. I believe in those pedagogical skills that we get as sociologists, you know, as world changers. Like, I feel like that's what I'm a world changer. And so all that to say, I thank God for this experience. I do not hate niggas, right? It was just kind of a catchy thing to say. But I want people to know your life is a choice. One of my favorite freedom fighters, American freedom fighters, is Harriet Tubman. And one of the reasons why I admire her so much is because she gives me a very Jesus-like feel. And I'm going to say this shit and I'm going to go. Thank y'all for riding with me. I always think about the fact that this woman was free. Like, she got the freedom. Like, she was like, niggas, I'm out. Bitch was out. She literally went the motherfucking road alone. But then she came back. She put her life on the line numerous times to come back and to say, I love you enough to risk my shit, risk all I built, risk everything, because I love y'all niggas. On top of that, not every nigga was like, thank you so much. Some of them was like, bitch, I ain't going with you. Shit's good here. You feel me? I'm saying that to say, when I share my story, I feel like Chimamanda. I feel like Harriet. I feel like I'm coming back to be like, y'all, yo, sis, you're not alone, sis. I've talked to dudes who've ghosted me. I've talked to dudes who literally intentionally was trying to get me pregnant. I've had an abortion. I've been broke as fuck. I've taken out a loan. I've been in hotels. I've literally, during the time I was having my abortion, I was still trying to get an apartment. So I was like grinding on that. It's like y'all know my story. Like, I'm saying it not just to be saying shit, but to be like, yo, you can get through. Like, my God is so, like, I call my God my light. And it's like, yo, my light is so big. So when people see me, like, yo, you got like a big energy about, like, your just energy is big. It's like, that's my light. That's my God shining. You seeing God right now. I'm not God, but you're seeing the God in me. I ain't got to talk about God all day. I'm like, God, God, God. No, you know why? Because you feel it. You should feel God and God's people. All that shit to say, B, I've been through a lot. At this moment in my life, I really don't have trust for men sexually. Socially, we can, I dap it up with my niggas. We laugh all day. But sexually, I can't be in a space to trust men. It's my shit's been too wild. Thanks, Ashley. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you being here. Thank you. I appreciate you staying. But all that to say, like, y'all, just thank y'all for listening. I want y'all to know that like God is amazing. Like light is amazing. When I talk about Black Joy Scholar, like I study Black Joy for me, for my liberation. Like this is real to me. Like this is really a foundation for getting free and staying free. Freedom has always been a choice. You choose to be free. Harriet Tubman went back and some niggas said, nah, I don't want freedom. They were choosing slavery. I think that we choose it, right? So all that shit to say, when you see me posting shit, I'm a funny bitch. Like I like to laugh. I think humor is, I post silly shit all the time. But all that to say, like none of the dudes I mentioned tonight are horrible people. And I hope I made that very clear. But they have some healing work. And Black women, I'm talking to y'all specifically, please stop doing that work for them. For me, I felt like I literally had to have a part of me die so that I could live again. When Jesus, they're like, on the third day he rose again, like that's a kind of death, right? I think that in life we have these kinds of deaths that happen to us, like when we go to this very dark place in ourselves, and because we're in that dark space, like the darkness is necessary. Like running from darkness, you'll never get to light. So I'm like, yo, sit in that dark shit. Being like, I was in some dark shit, my niggas. Like, I was trying so hard. I was praying hard. I was singing songs. Cardi B was there with me. Like, so when I ride for Cardi, niggas, it's not like, oh, cause she a hood bitch. No, it's cause when I was going through, Cardi was helping me get up in the morning. Cardi was like, yo, bitch, you can't fuck with me if you wanted to. And I was like, yeah, Tuesday, like, you like, yeah, yeah, you that boss bitch. Wasn't nobody hyping me but Cardi and Trina and motherfucking Missy Elliott and all them boss ass bitches and Jay-Z, who's my nigga, who's my mentor. Like, again, like I fucks with that. All that shit to say, y'all, I've been through and I'm not ashamed. I'm grateful. Like, niggas, who can go through that and still look this good? All that shit to say. So grateful for y'all, Black Joy family. So grateful that y'all are here with me, and know that, again, nothing is impossible. All that you want is plannable, right? Plan for what you want. And that's really it. Say what you want and expect to receive it. So I love y'all deeply. Y'all been through a roller coaster with me tonight. Like, oh, last thing, I'm sorry, I be talking so much. God damn, I'm long-winded as shit. But I told my mother tonight, like, because I was like, yo, if I'm gonna make this video, my mother gotta know. Like, she shouldn't know through a motherfucking online video, you feel me? So I call my mom and I'm like, yo, like, I wonder how she gonna take this shit. My mother was like, well, Tuesday, you did what you had to do. That shit was really amazing. And my mother is an amazing woman, because not every mother would do that. And she was like, well, you know, just don't make it a habit, but you did what you had to do. And I love you. With that being said, I love y'all deeply. Thank you for riding with me. Hopefully you laughed, you maybe cried a little, but you know me. You know I'm Tuesday Black Joy Scholar, regular ass bitch out here living life, making up some motherfucking ways to get through when it don't seem like a way to get through. But know that we always get through, especially us. We always find a way. Yes, mother, Ashley, you know mothers always. Also, y'all, like, everything I shared about my family, like, I take my family very personally. Like, I ride for them niggas, like, those my niggas. So, like, please don't disrespect my family. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you see my mom in the street, like, don't come to her with no bullshit, because, like, I don't play about my mama. So, like, if you see her in the street, be like, oh, I saw your daughter online. Don't, you know, I mean, my mother know how I am, but, like, don't come to her with no bullshit, because, like, I will correct that ass with the quickness. My mama is not to be played with by me. Like, she is literally God in the flesh to me. So, like, if you fuck with her, know you fucking with me, and, like, your shit's not gonna be good. All that to say, I'm dead ass. Like, my mom is not for play. But yeah, all that to say, like, I love y'all deeply. I appreciate y'all for riding with me. Continue to believe in yourself, to love on yourself, to seek healing, to expect the best, and then get that shit, and to not let anybody tell you otherwise. Love y'all so much. Good night.